Good afternoon from sunny Salinas, California. Where are we, Bill?
We are at Takii, where we're going to see all sorts of new plants from Takii and another company.
That's right. We've got two breeding companies here, Takii and Hill Verde Florist. By the way, I'm Chris Beatties.
Bill Calkins.
And we're covering the 2022 California Spring Trials. Why don't we stop yammering and head into the greenhouse to see the ornamental kale that Takii has on offer.
Sounds good.
There are two new kale available from Takii, and conveniently they've got them right here on this bench. The first one's up high, crystals. Last year they introduced crystal red and snow. This year we get crystal pink, and the one Bill is holding, crystal deep red. Now, what are some of the keys that make this special compared to some of their other ornamental kale, Bill?
Well, I mean, certainly the colors are really, really nice, and it's basically the fringe type. So they've added this fringe type into this series.
Also, we got to point out the glossiness of the foliage. Maybe get some sunlight on there so you can see just how shiny that happens to be compared to some of the, some of the older kale series tend to be sort of dull in color. Those are really shiny.
Then we also have the Kamome series, which they have two new colors in Kamome this year, bright red and bright white. And these are a little bit more frilled or crinkled.
Yes, those are ruffled, fringed maybe?
Yeah.
And these are even finer in their frilliness, and especially the Kamome bright white. So there's a couple of beautiful ornamental kales. Now, we asked if there's any cultural tips that growers need to know to produce a high quality kale. What'd you learn, Bill?
Well, it was great. They gave us some really good information, I think, from probably working with a lot of growers on this crop. I am going to look at my notes on this to make sure I get this right.
Don't give out bad information.
You need to make sure that you continue the nutrition throughout the entire crop. So late into the crop, and don't turn the fertilizer off too soon. You need to keep your EC consistent. So maybe just turn down the ppms a little bit, but keep it on a constant feed until your temperatures dip below 60, and then it'll start coloring up.
As long as the temperatures are up, the plant wants to keep growing, and if you stop the feed, you're going to get brown leaves falling off at the bottom, things like that, which you often see at retail, unfortunately.
You definitely do, and also to keep the size, you want to do PGR applications early in the crop and not too late.
There you go. A couple of tips on how to grow those things. Now we're going to swing right over here to get some Petunia action going on in two of their series. The Opera series, which is, Bill, Opera?
Operas are much more spreading.
A little bit of a wave competitor,
yes,
you might say. And that series gets Opera Supreme Rose. And then in their trilogies, which are a bit more mounding, a little less spreading, there's a very interesting silver blotch. You know, it's got the tiniest hint of green right there in the center. When you look at that up close, it's got a really interesting color.
With a really dark center.
Yeah, so there's a couple of new petunias. Now we want to come over here, we want to look at some experimentals, because that's always fun, and they're giving us permission to do that. First one I want to show actually might go with the silver blotch. They've got one here to show us. This is a ornamental pepper, capsicum, called Onyx Orange. Now Bill, could this sell for Halloween?
Oh my gosh, that's a perfect Halloween crop. Pair it with the dark centered silver blotch petunia.
Look how good those would go in a mixed combo. All right, and another one we're going to show is behind these videographers who are working here for some strange reason, and they are the South Pacific cannas from seed, and they've got two new ones coming. They've got a white and this real pretty yellow. And of course, the seed canna is really nice because you don't get the viruses that you get when you're doing the vegetative rhizome types. So that's a few of the new offerings. Wait, we forgot about cut flowers.
Oh no, we haven't forgotten about it. We're heading there right now.
I was about to cut us off, but no, let's go look at cuts instead of cutting off. Right over here, more kale. Brand new series. If you grow cut kale, their Crane series has been around for quite a while. It's a staple. Now there is a Crane Ruffle to go along with it. Four different colors.
4 colors, white, rose, red, and then a bicolor. And these are actually going to be great for some of you who have not grown too many cut flowers, because because of the vigor, you can actually get the stem size without too much work.
And they'll say this is one of the plants that you want to plant really close together.
Yep.
Normally you want to let things spread out. In this case, plant them super tight. You get a nice straight, thick stem.
Which will be perfect for bouquets.
Exactly. So now we have covered pretty much everything there is to see here at Takii for the 2022 California Spring Trials.